We are ready to go, fellas. Good evening, everybody. This is Crosstalk Sports with my two guys, Brandon and JB. Isaiah's not with us. He's got a little bit of a birthday party to go to, but I'm hosting for the first time. It's going to be a little clunky. I'm a little excited about what happened yesterday, a little sad about what happened yesterday as well. But let's get ready. Let's get right into it, fellas. College football. I mean, you're talking, week 9. What do you think?
Go ahead, John.
Just overall, man, the big time games, man. The biggest surprise was probably IU, man. So what I'm saying? My homies over at the CrossRoads Sports kind of laughed at me when they didn't think when they thought UCLA, because UCLA came in hot. They were 3-0 team, right? And they looked like they could cover. And you know what I'm saying? I sent Brandon a text late in the fourth. I said, hey man, if I think Cincinnati allows them to score 3 more points here, but I didn't think they was gonna put up another 2 touchdowns. And away we go, man. Here's what I'll say about IU, man. I like what I see statistically. You look up their analytics, man, they are right there, right. Unfortunately, you know what I'm saying, however you look at it, but they are still top 10 when it comes to like pass, you know what I'm saying? When it comes to all the defensive analytics and offensive analytics as well, man. Unfortunately, like I said, they're kind of behind Ohio State. So I'm not saying we're all, we're all vibe analytically, you know what I'm saying? But again, the analytics are they're playing the same light competition, man. So but like now, man, I think Cignetti he needs to be careful though about blowing out teams just a little bit. They're trying to make a statement every game. Every game doesn't have to be a blowout. You know what I mean? And like little brother Mendoza could have got in a little bit earlier. He played yesterday, I get it, but you could have saved Fernando's statistics for Heisman, because like man, that Fupavio Pava, whatever his name is, he's probably gonna get it maybe, just because of the hype. But like no, man, that was kind of what I kind of yesterday. Of course, the Big 12. We can kind of talk about that a little bit, and of course, you know what I'm saying. They had some Friday night light football that would deep dive. But like man, you know what I'm saying, coming in hot is the Hoosiers, man. Like I said, man, it made pastry cakes of UCLA.
For me, it'd be 2 things. Number one, the domination of Texas A&M going into Death Valley last night, owning that 4th quarter. I do declare having my family down here and down here in Baton Rouge. No, Texas A&M looked like world beaters last night. Marcel Reed, 202 yards, 2 touchdowns. And then the 108 yards rushing with 2 more touchdowns. I mean, he just dominated. And we are seeing the implosion of LSU and Brian Kelly, and I love it. That's one of my things. And the other one was my boy, get on board the Lane train. Ole Miss goes to Oklahoma and gets a big win there at Oklahoma. Feather in the cap victory for Lane. Schedule sits perfect for them to win out the rest of the way.
Yeah. I mean, you both hit the 3 games I was thinking about, starting off with UJB and Indiana. What I think about, though, a little bit different view from the Cignetti perspective. Hey, man, keep your foot on the gas. They still talking bad about you from 10 years ago when you wasn't even a Hoosier coach. Well, what did he do back in 2018? He wasn't here.
Right.
So, you have an opportunity to do what teams have done to you over the years. And I'm not saying Cignetti, I'm talking about Indiana. So
right.
If you take your foot off the gas, the first thing they would say is, well, look, they struggle with a poor UCLA team. I say Cignetti keeps his foot on the gas, and if teams don't like what's happening, you work to stop them. Now, what I didn't like is that Mendoza stayed in the game as long as he did, but at least he wasn't throwing the ball down the field 60 yards like they did with the kid from Miami last year. The number 1 pick in the NFL this past season. They weren't trying to pile it on that way. They were just, cutting them with razor blade cuts, and it wound up 56 points, So I'm okay with Cignetti not taking foot off the gas, because as soon as he loses, they're ready to say, I told you so. As soon as there's a close game, we've even got people already saying they're not real because Iowa came close to beating them. We got people going back to the Iowa game now.
Well,
but I don't agree with
that. Is your moment. That's your moment to educate those people, man. I would dismantle Minnesota like this month, like they took Minnesota out of it. Period.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's a natural Big Ten, you know what I'm saying, opponent, technically a rival for them, man.
Yeah.
So like, man, I get into this too, man. So I will apologize a little bit. From 2 weeks ago, I called Vanderbilt. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect to Northwestern. Northwestern, every blue moon, you know what I'm saying, they have a Big Ten, you know what I'm saying, say on things. So like, you know what I'm saying? So like we got to get out of this habit. When teams are good for whatever era, whatever time they are, especially in this NI era when where coaches can kind of accumulate free agent talent. If you make the right gamble, right, you got the right people in your room to run your program or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? You can have a Vanderbilt in playoff contention. You can have you know what I'm saying, people kind of. I wouldn't necessarily what I saw out of Iowa yesterday in Minnesota. And again, I am a fan of PJ Fleck and rowed the boat and like his philosophy of coaching and all those things. Minnesota, again, you know what I'm saying, what do you believe, they turn out a pro every now and then, right? You know what I'm saying, we get that. But again, it's a respectable program and they're not chumps. Man, I would took them out of the game. So like folks, that's when I do it. This is your time to educate folks. Say, hey man, it's like I said 2 weeks ago, it's hard to win the ACC. You know what I'm saying? As the homie, you know what I'm saying, in Clemson, you know what I'm saying, in his you know what I'm saying, dinosaur ways, is finding out, man. So it's hard to win in the Big 12. You know what I'm saying? Like Brandon said, it ain't easy to go down there. They took Oklahoma State out of it, pancaked them. They didn't even think about you gonna have a chance. Right. You know what I mean, of winning that game, man. So and again, the other game, not to cut you off, you know what I'm saying, you got Bama on, man.
We doing our thing, man. I love this.
The game you cannot against a team like Alabama. You can't leave points hanging up there. You know what I'm saying? So South Carolina in a home environment, hostile fan environment. Yes, sellers, you got to play better, man. And when you make stops, you know what I'm saying, you got to take advantage of it and not put 3. You got to put 7 up there because like the tide will come. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That team is too good enough to, you know what I'm saying, not to make those kind of mistakes, man. And when I seen them, I text Brandon, I said, man, Kirby would have went for 2. When they went up, I said Kirby would have went for 2 because that's what in the high stakes game is what you got to do. Now I'm not saying in that moment. I'm not saying in this era of South Carolina. I'm not saying that they were in a slug them out kind of dogfight. So for them to go for 2, you ask for a lot. You know what I'm saying in that moment. But no, man. Those you know what I mean. Now those was a couple of good games that I kind of saw. There was like I said, there was plenty between Thursday night and yesterday.
Well, the thing that hit me to Brandon's point with the LSU A&M game, you know, we've talked about teams that we like, they're our favorites, and A&M has been my favorite SEC team since they went into South Bend and took care of business. And when they were down in the first half after last night's game, I sat back there, I doubled down on my parlay on DraftKings. LSU was no closer to winning that game than I was. They got lucky. It should have been 21-9, and they should have been going away. They lucked up, and what A&M did and came out in the second half, and they showed who the better team was, coaching, offensively and defensively. And you know, I don't want to pour salt in the wound of Brian Kelly, but you know, we've talked about this for 3 years now. I think he's one of the phoniest coaches in the NFL, in NCAA football. And sometimes you get what you deserve. You know, from the like Brandon said, the beginning of the press conference, me and my family. You have zero accent, and what's happened is that's come to roost. You know, and then the other piece of that is Ole Miss, man. I love the fact of what they did to Oklahoma yesterday because Ole Miss, I think, is probably it's A&M, Bama, and Ole Miss right there. I think those are the 3 teams right now. Even though Texas had a great comeback win yesterday. Ole Miss, man, they found a way to win that game yesterday, you know, and you know, it was a tough one. But I give the Lane Train credit.
Their defense won that game.
Yeah, give the Lane Train credit. He said, you know, defense, go handle this, and they did. So you know, you gotta give credit where it's due. But the question is this: was that Lane's last biggest SEC win before he makes the decision to head east and then south a little bit? Because I think the natives are talking, and there's an opportunity for my boy Lane Train to go southeast and hang out down there in Gainesville. I'm telling you, it's picking up its pace, man.
It is picking up. I think it's picking up just because of his age, man. I'll let Brandon kind of tap in a little bit better.
They're related. I got you. Good point.
No, I think I think now there is more of a shot for him to go to LSU than to go to Florida,
Really?
based on resources, money, NIL, what he talks about that he was able to get from Ole Miss, that LSU can provide, and the contract that they could provide for him. Um, the NIL resources and the potential of the NFL alumni and boosters is a lot greater at LSU than it is Florida. I actually looked into it earlier today.
But by how much though? I mean, is it a great
I mean,
deficiency? I don't know. I wouldn't think it would be a great deficiency.
I ain't trying to
Florida
be funny,
has
man. You got Shaq out here too. You got Shaq out here who's a booster.
Hey, just don't put him on the free
It's
throw line.
it's
I
not
don't know,
like it's
man.
night and day difference, but it's, I mean,
Right.
there's if you go to the grading scale of say Ole Miss is a C, and you know, that kind of level, Florida is more like that, like a B plus, and LSU is at A minus. So there's not much there. You're looking like a
Right. I
2,
was, yeah,
3
I was gonna say that, yeah.
percentage.
But you know, I'll say this though, right? You know, with that said, and I've said this also. Granted, I'm a Bama fan, but you can put pretty much anybody in LSU, and they're going to turn out 9 wins. They've got a historical a pool down there that even schools like Bama does not have. They got a historical pool, and you look at it from the defensive backfield, from the receiving core. The thing with LSU has failed in over the years is the quarterback play. They have failed in the quarterback play. Now you got everything around them. You've got running backs, you got receivers. Well, let me 2 things, and the offensive line. Offensive line and quarterback play have been deficiencies for LSU. But the reason why to your point, Brandon, maybe him going to LSU could say, I'm sticking it to you, Bama, since you all think I'm not good enough to be there. I'm going to and we can call it Auburn we want, but the biggest rival for Alabama is that LSU game. That's right. No matter what. And think about,
let's be real.
thing.
Let's be real. Buyouts are just monopoly money. That's all it is.
Yeah, it's crazy. You know, there was talk about Sark yesterday in some sports groups, and you know this NFL talk. Listen, if I'm Sark, I'm sticking my heels in the ground. I'm on rah. I'm gonna hook 'em horns and all day long. I looked his up. He's got 20 hours a year for a private plane. He's got 2 privately owned vehicles and a car service, along with the home and his salary. Why would you voluntarily give that up? Because coaching is coaching. And if you go to the NFL, you're not going to go to a good team. So it's going to take you a couple of years anyway. So why not get the money from Texas? And if Texas have the balls to fire you, okay, in 2 years, you'll be in the NFL. You'll be getting that money as well. I think Sark stays. I think that report for that young lady, you know, granted, she may be, you know, an authoritative figure. And yeah, he didn't really deny it yesterday. He did the old fist pounding and I'm appalled and all that garbage, I never believe anyway. Right. But I see no reason why he would leave voluntarily and leave that on the money on the table when the NFL is going to call for him anyway. Remember, he voluntarily left the NFL. He ran from the NFL when he left Atlanta.
Yeah.
So this is like he's never seen it.
Just like Danny Hurley, just entertained. I'll take a phone call. I know I'm not leaving. I know I'm not leaving. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm not leaving. I like to bet. Hey man, listen, we can't just wash over the better play of Arch Manning yesterday, man. I know he's still not in everybody's Heisman hearts or anything like that. But like the fail of him being some type of black sheep or can't play the position at the SEC level. Like, man, I don't even chirp in sports groups anymore. I'm over that. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that, you know what I'm saying, but like I chirped in one that kind of was like, hey, Arch Manning sucks. And hey, Arch Manning. And like, man, we on they are, and I'm not even, you know, I don't hook nobody's Longhorns, nobody, but you know, so I do evaluate talent. And I pride myself on that. That Brandon spent too many years. Nah, boy, dude, you better get in trouble. Don't get us in trouble, man. But
man,
hey,
you ain't kidding, man. Come on now.
I think on winning streak. I think it goes to 4. I think Vanity. You know what I'm saying. A little win streak kind of stops. Stark still has a good defense. You know what I'm saying. Analytically, you know what I'm saying. I think they're top 3 or whatnot. And like I said, Eli's playing a whole lot better. He's gotten better rush. From his running back group, And like I'm saying, he's backing up everything from his defensive support. Yesterday, is seemingly they were out of it, and a couple defensive turns, and they were back into it. So you kind of got to tip your hat to that. I think for them though, it does come to a crashing halt when they have to play Georgia. Arch Manning will have to play like everybody envisions him to play, that 5 touchdown kind of guy. And right now, I don't think that's there.
Does he come back from the concussion? Okay, because he got a pretty good lick yesterday, and he didn't look okay. And some guys, they give it a week and they're okay, but with his family lineage, if I'm Peyton, Eli, and his dad, nah, son, we're gonna make sure you're 100%. And that was a big lick, right? But the other thing is, if that other quarterback comes in and plays well, it's just gonna make it even worse. Because now, anybody could have done what Eli did yesterday, and I don't subscribe to that. Again, so for me, like I said at the beginning of the season, I felt he was a Heisman lead. I felt that Texas had the most talent, and with the name and the most talent and the quarterback on the most talented team with the win, I felt that he had a great opportunity. That opportunity is gone, but that doesn't mean he sucked. That means he's had a tough time navigating through things. That's why I never thought he would be a one and done. The guy sat for 2 years.
Argumentatively, man, Pavio Vega's game yesterday was horrible.
Did you say Savio Vega?
No, there's no argument. But you know how many people are going to discount what you said, JB? Or the Johnny Manziel fans who love Vega because he's doing the same garbage. This is all hype, man. He doesn't believe he's that good. Because if he believed he was that good, it wouldn't have his 9th year in college football. Okay. He doesn't believe he's that good. He's trying to strike while the iron's hot. In the NIL world. You see the necklaces and all that. Listen, man, I'm not buying it. This guy is mid in the SEC at best. He's a mid quarterback in the SEC at best. And these people are trying to scream Heisman. Not drinking that Kool-Aid.
He's gonna get in the room, man. I don't want it either, man, but he's gonna get in the room.
Yeah, I think they should have an age limit on the Heisman. It should be a 28-year-old age limit.
Well, Memphis, hey man, the quarterback from Memphis is like 20. I think he's like 23 or 24. He's been in the college man for 6 years, man. Deion had him. Prime had him out there. Prime had him at what's his name? Brendan Jones. I think that's his name. Brendan Lewis. I don't mess up his brother. Brendan Lewis, man. He's not out meeting him last night. Oh my God, that was horrible. I woke up to midnight, 3 o'clock in the morning, man. You checking scores. You like, okay, Bama, yeah.
You too, huh?
Man, yeah, IU, they kicked ass. Yeah, Ball State, they laid the dog. You know what I'm saying? And then you go to Utah and you say, excuse me, halftime was what?
Man, hey,
nothing.
Brandon counted his money.
That was unbelievable. Prime was out there cussing out the defensive coordinator, you know what I'm saying? Or saying not choice words. I don't think he was cussing. Prime's a Christian man, but he was saying some not choice words about the defensive coordinator and I guess about the preparedness of that's bad. That was just bad.
You don't have the talent. You don't have the talent there in Boulder, Colorado. And I'll say it, and I'll say it again. I believe that he should have stayed in Jackson, Mississippi. I understand there was a money issue there. He didn't need the money there, right? His impact for the state of Mississippi and the city of Jackson, Mississippi was much far reaching than going to Boulder, Colorado, where they can't stand you. Listen, I promise you, after the end of this year, there's going to be rumblings about him being gone. And he can't,
you know what? I'm just going to throw it out there, man. He can't consistently either recruit and develop because he did have a freshman quarterback. So if you have a freshman quarterback, either you got to just put him out there like Underwood, Michigan did, and let him pass, fail, whatever, or whoever you brought in, as old as he was and is, the kid they brought in, like the bad tape, you supposed to clean that up for him. They didn't clean up the bad tape for this kid at all.
Yeah. So what's the answer then, man? I mean, listen, they're not going to turn this thing around.
But here's the thing, though, baby. Brandon and DK, you can't lose your mind on having a bad year, or you shouldn't. Right. So but like, man, it's weird now because we in weird times. The media and fandom and social media kind of makes these things microwavable. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh man, we got to hurry up and do something, otherwise we're gonna lose our fan base. How in the world would I don't want to call it a dead horse. But like, how in the world could the fan base on social media get James Franklin fired? And that they did. That part of that was like, we got to get him out of here, and like we got to get him out of here now. When, like, man, from like you say monopoly money, but that's real money, man. They got to pay him, and he's not even coaching anymore. And you still, I mean, we're still winning or losing, but he's not even coaching no more, man. So I don't know, man. And it's, again, I got another rant rolling for for the ACC and how that economic kind of system works. But like, no, man, it is the wild times we have in this college football thing, man, for real, for sure. But like, who else kind of caught your eye this weekend?
Well, for me, Tech again, Georgia Tech. I've said it. They just balling out, and it's just something about them, man. They just they're still under the radar. They're just the tough game yesterday. Yeah, that we all know their toughest game of the season is going to be at Georgia in the last game of the season. But none of us thought 5 weeks ago there'd be any doubt on what the spread would be. Right now, there is an absolute chance this could be a pick'em game, Georgia Tech against Georgia, if things stay true to what they are. A pick'em game, Georgia Tech versus Georgia. Think about that one. That hit me a little bit. And the other piece was, I like, Alabama's resiliency yesterday. But here's the thing, man. South Carolina lost the game when they went for 2, chasing points early in the game. If you don't kick the extra point, Bama doesn't tie the game at 22-22. And I'm not saying it's a guarantee you're going to hit your extra point. But when you're chasing, and I said, thanks for chasing points early. I said, we might need that. And sure as nothing, they absolutely needed those points. With that, when Carolina didn't get that 2-point conversion, they go out, they shut out Bama in 25 minutes of the 24 minutes of the second half. Bama has a historical drive tied up after muffing a punt, and then turning around and getting a turnover when they punched the ball out. And my man Keenan is just laying on the ball. He's so damn big, he doesn't even realize the ball's underneath him, right? So, but those are plays you got to make. But again, did you see how the coach was with South Carolina? Every play was like the last play of the season. He's just the facial expression, the sadness, the all over from one end of the spectrum to the other. Nothing wrong with being a fired up coach, but I think your players see that, and I saw panic because he's begging for every call. He looks like a lost guy, and I thought he had a little bit more composure to himself, but he didn't look very composed yesterday.
Okay. For me, it'd be the BYU Cougars going into Iowa State and getting the win, being underdogs, proving that they can go on the road to Iowa State. I know Jonathan's been chasing Iowa State all season long, but Bear Brockmeyer, 307 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, and then running for 50 and another tutty. It looked like there for a minute, the BYU at halftime, it's like, all right, you're down 24-17. Iowa State's going to just drag them away in the second half, and it was complete opposite of that. You go out and score 24 points in that second half, and BYU pulled, and they're going to be that force in the Big 12 as they come towards the end of the season against Texas Tech. And actually, the funny thing is, they play this next week. Their next game is against Texas Tech. So we're going to see a good one there between BYU, Texas Tech. It's at Texas Tech, so they got a big win as well. But this Big 12, you might think it's done, but it's not over yet. BYU and then Cincinnati's still undefeated. And then you got Texas and Houston. So I was impressed by BYU's performance yesterday.
Yeah, Houston one loss. They put the media darlings of Arizona State on the shelf yesterday. Sam Levitt, when Sam Levitt doesn't play for that team, they're just a
2
different
weeks
team.
away. Excuse me. 2 weeks is the game. So they both get a bye.
Okay, yeah. When Levitt doesn't play for Arizona State, they're a different team. Brandon mentioned Cincinnati. Cincinnati still undefeated in Big 12 play. They had the freaky game against Nebraska. If they didn't have that, if they won that freaky game against Nebraska, man, you know what I'm saying, they'd probably be, you know what I'm saying, top 10. I'm on mute.
No, Peacock was. He was saying something.
No, I was saying, don't forget that. It was a home game for Nebraska. You're exactly right, JB. that was a home game. They were in Kansas City, but it was basically a home game. You're right.
But no, man, I everybody knows I got mad love for the Big 12. I really don't, man. BYU is a very explosive team. That kid Brockmeyer does give you the best Tim Tebow impressions that you've seen in a long time, man. The way he can run the ball. And again, they got some decent receivers, man, that, you know what I'm saying, hopefully you get to see on the next level. You know what I mean? But like, because everybody likes those good, small, fast guys with good hands. You know what I'm saying? They got plenty of those. Yeah, man, they got like get it out. But like, I don't trust them. They make too many mistakes. They'll if you try to do something like South Carolina, like the BYU beat South Carolina rolling, because like South Carolina put 3, they're gonna put 14 as soon as you put up 3. You know what I'm saying? That's how they roll. You know what I'm saying? But I don't trust them playing anybody a championship, playoff contender, man, just because they make too many procedural mistakes, and you know what I'm saying, you can kind of force them into a 3rd and long a whole lot. Just in Big 12 play, man, everybody's really trying to one up one another for real. They're really trying to score 40 points on you so they can try to kind of show the other Big 10 and SEC schools and the SEC playoff makers that, hey, man, this is what we do out here. We put up 40 points like it's nothing. But like, no, man, great win from BYU. They're on, like I said, Brandon said, like on a collision course with Texas Tech. You cannot take away, man. The problem is sometimes, man, the right teams don't necessarily win. I want to go back to the ACC real quick. California needed to come back east and beat the hell out of Virginia Tech. That didn't happen. They got a sloppy quarterback. They got a good running back. Kid, hey, man, you're going to be somebody on the next level at some point, man. But it brings the conference down when Virginia Tech, who's on Mike Vick watch, next coach, right? Maybe. You know what I'm saying? When you don't go there and you're still 2 loss team. I get it. You're out of the playoff. Get it. But like, you bring the conference down. So yeah, is this going to be Georgia Tech or nothing? That's going to be the representation or the Hurricanes, man. So
yeah,
I go back to the Big 12. Not so, but more competitive, man. But similar, some of the same situation, man. TCU's kind of sitting out of the top 25, I think, right now. But still a 2-loss team. They need somebody to do some help for them. In Houston again, like I said, they beat the Sun Devils, but again, they need some help as well. Like, no, real competitive in the top, in the middle for the Big 12 this year, man. People should really tap in if you haven't.
Yeah, they had a good conference, man. They don't have a lot of layups, man. Even at the bottom of the con. I mean, you got Oklahoma State there and a couple others, but for the most part, you don't know who's going to win week over week. You didn't think Iowa State would go to Cincinnati and get thumped like they did.
No.
Granted, the score was closer, but if you watch that game, it was a 2-touchdown game pretty much the whole game.
Bearcats got some playmakers, though. Bearcats got some playmakers. I don't know if that makes me saying them that I don't think they're first rounders or second rounders, but they got some playmakers that at wide out they're probably going to be, you know what I'm saying, on somebody's roster next year.
Yeah. No, I'm with you 100% there, man, for sure. What else for yesterday? Any surprises at all for yesterday?
Surprises.
I think for me it was Kansas State going into Kansas and winning as big as they did, 42-17. I really thought, Kansas State, from what they looked like the first week of the season over there in Ireland, it just looked like bad football. And I think they started out 0-2, if I remember right. And then them going into Kansas, I had this circle as a big game for Kansas to win. And man, they just did not show.
I mean, if you think it's just the dust settling, and that's kind of who they are. You beginning of the season, everybody's fresh. You take your lumps. You probably got some injuries. Then all of a sudden, you lay an egg when against a team that people thought that would be a competitive game.
Yeah, I really thought Avery Johnson, and he's a great quarterback, and I like him and Jackson both, the running back there. But I really thought I thought Johnson would have a Heisman-like year. I was really expecting him to be on that top 5 quarterback Heisman run this year, run through the Big 12, but it hasn't planned that way for them. They're 4-4, just now getting to 500. I think it was a big game for them to finally get up on, right? It's your rival. Let's see how they finish the rest of these season games, because that could be their quote Super Bowl, right? The rest of the way.
Yeah.
And so they may go and lose the next 3 or 4 games. It's wild. Not to go too much off topic, but I think one of the most wild things was this week. I don't know if you guys saw the stuff with West Virginia. They're 2-6. They lost to TCU at home. And Pat McAfee got a phone call from Rich Rod and said, "Hey, I need $10 million
Give me some money
to get these guys in
What?
here."
Yeah,
because
you didn't see that?
We had 2 boosters or whatnot that were giving money for NIL that have pulled it and said, "You're not winning. We're pulling our money back." And Rich Rod hated to do it apparently, but he had to make the phone call. And McAfee's like, "Yeah, sure, I guess." Threw him $10 million. I hate how this is developing with college football.
How much you think he got from Nick as well? Because Nick's a West Virginia native. He may not have coached there, but that man's made the money as well. I wouldn't be surprised if they split the difference on that.
Half and half. Yeah. I hate that's how
That's
dangerous
horrible.
that could get.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Because it's not bound contractually, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm sure the booster is saying, I'm not going to go to contractually on this. I'm going to wait and see what's going on. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do, but you've got to do your part as well. And that means winning.
Yeah.
So what does that do for West Virginia going forward, though, with recruits and the NIL side and transfer? I think you know how the negative recruiting is. I wouldn't be surprised if one of the first things out of a coach's or recruiter's mouth, if you're talking to West Virginia, hey, they don't have any money, man. Why are you going there? Did you hear what Pat McAfee said on the show?
Does it make sense for them? Does it make sense for them? So if the booster's gonna have that kind of say, does it make sense for them to be in the Big 12?
No.
I would say no. It doesn't make sense for them in the Big 12. If you're gonna give us $10 million, you probably want to see your $10 million populate within our community. So West Virginia would technically have to rejoin the ACC or another Eastern, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? One is not so far west. You know what I'm saying? The Big 12 really is pushing west and south.
To the coast. East Coast to West.
The AAC would be perfect for them. The
and
American Athletic Conference.
You probably get return on investment on your money. Your $10 million go back to AAC. Yeah, you probably get return on investment on your money, but it's going to be slow.
With the guaranteed bid, you're right in there year after year as well too.
Yep,
that's something to think about as well. Sometimes
no Big 12 team should ever be saying that and calling one of their alums. Yeah. Now, probably was that supposed to be a quiet conversation? It probably was, and McAfee just blew it up to make it.
Why not? It's his money. You know what I'm saying? If he's going to share, hey, listen, I'm going to speak to it because that's a piece for Pat McAfee as well. That's a infomercial for him too. He's not doing this because he's just an all shucks wonderful guy. There's something in it for him. I promise you that.
John?
No, I kind of wanted to pitch it to you. What should Texas do then? Should Texas leave the SEC? No.
No.
Listen, Texas and
they need to pick up.
They've got the money.
Need to pick up another Texas game instead of a Big Ten game. If you feel what I'm saying, instead of you're gonna get fan support playing zip tie in Texas El Paso. You're gonna get fan support zip tying. You know what I'm saying? To give me another Texas team they played this year.
You can be Baylor. You can be Baylor.
But yeah, do they need to get another Texas team?
Well, they got A&M this year. It's been a while since they've played A&M. They finally got it this year.
Last game of the season, A&M regular season. I think it's coming that way because the way the money is shifted. They got the home deal with Ohio State, but I think Texas is going towards what you just said, though, JB.
It's a better game. It would be Texas Tech ain't going nowhere. Okay, not going nowhere.
That's a good thing, though, for Texas. That's a good thing. There's enough talent. Here's what I'll say this. There's enough talent out there, so that's a win for Texas. And playing your Techs, Baylor, and A&M's on a rotational basis.
SMU, and they're not scared. At least in the SARC era, they're not scared to go play somebody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a win in itself, right? That's a win in itself. You say
as critical as we are about SARC, man. But I think at some point they might have to pivot and say, "Hey, Big Ten, I get it. That sounds like a money game for Fox Network and maybe ESPN or whoever is going to feature it. But like, in quarter for our recruiting and maybe even for our community down here, we might want to play that team over there.
So
that
Texas,
can make some sense.
Their schedule, obviously, next year they play Ohio State at home, the home and home D-Cop was talking about. In 27, they're home against Michigan on the schedule. And then in 28, they're at Notre Dame. And then they're home against Notre Dame in 29.
Those are good gets. Those are good gets, man, because they want to be far-reaching as well, too. The thing that they talked about in those recruiting trails, especially on 3, is you've got to find a footprint elsewhere, because the way the NIL money is and the way that things are balancing out, you can no longer just, corner off, the Southwest area of the country and say we're going to be okay. Look what Ohio State did getting Jeremiah Smith out of South Florida, right? You've got to put your footprint elsewhere, and I think that is in part of what makes Texas do what they did. Bama go to Wisconsin, what they've done, etc.
If they had a level of consistency, he probably wouldn't have left South Florida though. If they had a level of consistency at the coaching, at leadership position in Florida, he probably never would have left South Florida. Them dudes love South Florida down there. And
true, but it was enough there, and he was good enough to know 3 years I'm leaving anyway. And here's the other thing. Maybe Ohio State gave him another extra $1 million, right? The traveling expense, right? But those things, let's be honest, those things come to play now too. I guarantee you players are saying, listen, I'm from South Florida. You want me to come up north? How much is my mom going to get to be able to travel to my games?
Right.
I don't want to pay for that. 100%. I want, So I think those things come to play. That's why I think Texas is doing what they do. It's important, for these
Bama's
schools.
doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got Ohio
Wisconsin.
State coming in 27 or 27. They're at Ohio State. And then 28, they're home against Ohio State. And then 29, they go to Notre Dame, which DCOT, I think that we need to look at a trip up there for that game. And then 2030, they're home against Notre Dame.
Yeah. And just like Arkansas did with Notre Dame as well, the home and home, right? Those things, as we move forward, JB, are probably going to be more prevalent than ever. Think about the West Coast, man. Remember we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, and we said USC had an opportunity to put a stranglehold on the West Coast.
I'm not sold on it. I'm not sold on it, especially when it comes to California, and here's why. You turn an October football game into a glorified bowl game. So I go back to Exhibit A, California versus Virginia Tech. That's just another glorified bowl game, dude. That would be great to watch January 3rd with some popcorn or some turkey, leftovers from Christmas or whatnot, that you can pull out some some of that good cranberry sauce or one of them pies you didn't froze up, you hear from the family, but like for October 25th, nobody wants to watch California versus Virginia Tech. That would have been a better sell for them if Virginia Tech was playing one. Guess what? West Virginia. Duh. You know what I'm saying? Or California.
But you got two teams.
So it's a bad sale. It's a bad sale. It's a good sale for USC, yes, but it ain't a good sale for everybody else. It's a good sale for Oregon. It ain't a good sale for everybody else.
What I'm saying is the western third of the country is bare. It's dormant. You've got talent out there. So if I'm an SEC team, a Big 10 team, a Big 12 team, I'm going to take a look out because listen, it's still California and it's still Arizona. Oregon's not doing so bad out there. That talent is out there somewhere. You just got to find it. And with USC being down and UCLA being where they are, California being okay at best, Colorado being a 5-week wonder, there's money to be made out west.
I'm disappointed in Lincoln Riley. Yeah, I'm disappointed more in Lincoln Riley.
Okay.
When it comes to USC.
You want me to go on my Lincoln Riley rant again? Is that
no, we don't.
Don't do that. He is not who he thought he was. He's had an opportunity to do things, and it's not going to be there for him, man. I mean, can we at least agree on that? Can we agree this is Lincoln Riley's 4th year? Can we agree that it ain't happening? He's a great OC.
I give him that.
Yeah.
Maybe him and Luke Fickle will team up somewhere down the line.
Hey, John. I was a little frustrated on Saturday that we lost our last rivalry game with Northern Illinois, Ball State.
Yeah, horrible.
Just laid over
That's
that game.
horrible.
And I looked at the schedule for Ball State next year.
Mhm.
This Butler coach that took over there, Coach U, you realize he has to open the season next year at the Horseshoe against Ohio State.
Why? Like, what athletic director? That's got me stuttering. What athletic director is signing off on this, man?
They're playing
Are
at
you?
Ohio State to open the year next year.
I get it. The city of
He's gonna
Muncie.
toughen
You
them
know what
up.
I'm
Is
saying?
that what he's trying to do? Trying to toughen them up?
And they play at Northwestern, same season.
Well, we know
That-
what Northwestern, right, JB?
That's
They're
a
just
competitive. Okay, that's more of a little bit competitive game for them, man. But you need to find you more games like North Cincinnati. You know what I'm saying? Marshall. Find one of them games. There's some juice in those games, man, for them on the back end. If it was about that, but like, man, how many years in a row? Even going back to Coach New, they played Georgia. Like, man, don't send the boys down
Auburn
there.
this year.
Those SEC teams, nothing against them and how they schedule, they're not coming up north to play the MAC school. Not even to play.
How much money did they get? They was like a $500,000, $750,000.
When they played Georgia, didn't they get it like $1 million?
I think it was something like, I was thinking $750,000. It may have been $1 million, but I think that's the money move right there, right? I think
it didn't help
they
you.
got 1.6 million from Georgia.
I don't want to get in trouble because we have a good relationship, right?
1.6,
but it didn't help you.
1.6.
It fuels, so like the argument, the debate, the pushback is it helps fuels our athletic department fully. All right, then, if that's the case, then we need to push a little bit more harder somewhere else to get more other dollars in as well.
So between the first 2 games that year, they made that in Kentucky. So they made $3.25 million that season from non-conference opponents.
And all it took you was 3 losses. You don't lose recruits by losing. You lose recruits by not getting there. And that $3 million is you can help. It does can help. It does help. And so, I think at some point you got to be the sacrificial lamb.
You speak of Georgia. So this year for their non-conference opponents combined, they paid out $4.1 million.
Yeah. That's because, hey, this is an opportunity for us to get our younger guys a little bit of run before the SEC season starts.
How did UMass? How did they pay UMass more than they paid Ball State? I don't get that.
Dr. J, man.
Dr.
J, come on.
They pull out the Dr. J statue, man. Let you take care of pictures and whatnot with that. With the
come on, man.
Historic.
But I think that's what it is, right? It's tough on the players because they get their asses beat. That's probably the most physical game they're gonna play. These teams in the SEC got their ears pinned back and just taking full advantage. But at the other end, are those players getting some of that money now that we're in the NIL rankings as well too? Are they getting? Is each player getting $5,000 for the game? $8,000 for the game.
I get what y'all saying. I still would find me a if we take my Ball State, right, I would find me a Midwestern opponent instead of an SEC opponent. Still, so that my fan base can, what I'm saying, we can kind of share. We can kind of build that up too. You know what I'm saying? You can find, Ball State got to find somebody go zip time for $1.5 million. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure a Big Ten team would take that up. They take that challenge up. Sure.
Do you know what? Here's your trivia question. Do you know what the highest amount paid has been in college football history for a team to come play another team? And what that dollar amount was?
One game, it can't be over.
I'd say $2.5 million.
Yeah, it could be over like $2 or $3 million. I'm not gonna say 3. I'm gonna say 2.
$2 million is the cap. That it's the NCAA rules. The cap is $2 million. Both of them. One was $1.85 million, and the other one was 1.8. Actually, there was 2 $1.85 millions and one $1.8 million. The 2 lowest ones. Colorado State received $1.8 million to play Texas. Fresno State received $1.85 million to play Michigan. And the highest, Alabama played New Mexico State $1.85 million.
You never go bring that up.
It wouldn't be a show without taking a dig, right? Hey, but if it's a win for both universities, I'm for it. You know what I mean by that is you can't take a loss by paying a team to come visit you. You can't take a loss.
Yeah.
You
Well,
can't get
I
injured.
thought one of them was going to be the Desmond Ritter Cincinnati team that beat Notre Dame that one year, but I think that was only like $1.1 million.
That was Brian Kelly.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Brian Kelly's one that made the schedule for that.
Yeah, well,
you got to make it. I mean, there's no shame. You got to make a tough schedule. I mean, there's no blaming playing little brother Ohio State in Cincinnati. No shame in that. But
I think
old school came back to there. I could see a little bit of that.
Fellas, I'm thinking he's getting fired tonight or tomorrow morning because
Brian Kelly.
You see,
they've sent the coaches home. They've sent the coaches home tonight from the coaches only meeting. The coaches have been sent home. The governor is now involved, talking with boosters.
The governor
about the buyout. Yeah,
he got
the governor.
And we're not talking about Schwarzenegger as the governor either. We're talking about the real governor. So
now, Brandon know what I'm talking about. The governor with the eye patch, Walking Dead.
But listen,
he'll get it later.
$54 million. You bring a guy from Notre Dame who was a 10-win automatic. He comes in, he takes your program, and he drops it. Right? He drops it because two things, right? He came as a phony, and when the opportunity came for him to back his players when things went wrong, he pointed his fingers at them. And we talked about this 3 years ago, fellas, and it's come to roost on him, right? And unfortunately for him, it's probably going to cost him his job. However, he's not going away with an empty bread box, okay? You know, but for me as a Bama fan, I hope they were meeting to talk about a lifetime extension for him, because as a Bama fan, you want that guy on the sidelines against you. You see Nussmeier, how he disrespected him coming off the field last night. I don't know if you all watched the game. I watched it all because I had a little bit of DraftKings in play there. Nussmeier comes off the field. He says a couple of words to Nussmeier. Dude takes his helmet off, shakes his head. It looked like it was the letters with the start with letter F and the Y and then U, and kept on going, shaking his head the whole time. This is an underachieving quarterback who's done nothing all season but allow announcers like Herbstreit scream that he's fighting injuries all year. Okay, yeah. A lot of guys are fighting injuries all year. So I don't ever hope anybody gets fired. I definitely hope Brian Kelly keeps his job because that helps Bama. But man, if I'm a LSU person, I don't want him there. What about our guy? Go Tigers. What about our guy? You bring our guy back? Go Tigers.
Man. Brandon reported Lane Train.
Who's coming back? Who's coming back?
I don't know how the Miami Dolphins won a game against the Falcons today, man. It's crazy. So like that dude's still on borrowed time. I think Lane Train goes to pros, but if he doesn't get a call from the pros, there's no way he takes that. There's no way he turns down a call from LSU. And I mean, not a call, like everything be moved over, everything being purple in his house.
So LSU supersedes Florida, fellas. What y'all telling me is LSU Florida?
I want to tell you real quick. It's not that Florida or even Penn State is a bad job. LSU just a better job.
I'm not even thinking Penn State. I'm not even thinking Penn State. I don't.
Hey, Brian Kelly's better off either at Penn State or Arkansas. He needs to leave LSU.
Stop it. They're not taking that Penn State. They're not dealing with that.
Hey, as we go, and I know this has been good, but I want to hit a little bit on next week's games. There's not a lot of, not a lot of action necessarily. We've got, we thought it was going to be a great game, Ohio State, Penn State.
I thought there was a lot of good action. I thought there was better action this past week.
So Ohio State, Penn State, not the game we thought it would be. Georgia, Florida, the cocktail series. I think that's going to, you got a lot of talent out there. Don't sleep on Florida possibly winning this game.
Yeah. Vanderbilt, Texas. I can't wait to see that one. High noon.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
I haven't been cheering for Texas, but I'm gonna tell you this, man. I'm cheering heavy for. Oh, I'll be in Colorado next. I'll be watching that game at 10 a.m.
Don't watch that.
The Jonathan Birdsong game is on national television, 7:30 on NBC Saturday night. That's the Jonathan Birdsong Invitational.
USC, Nebraska.
It's Lakeland Riley and USC going to play Matt Rule in Nebraska.
What do you think, JB?
His favorite coaches.
You can rule Matt Rule out of any coaching jobs other than the one he's going to lull in. You know what I'm saying? As he goes probably to the Skippy Peanut Butter Bowl this offseason, man. USC should sure improve, man, and win that game. But you know what I'm saying? If you tell me they got to come east, that means Lincoln Riley's probably whining.
They ain't coming that far.
Well, he's going to do that anyway. And then, also
48
game,
degrees. He ain't going to be happy with that for the game.
I would say, Brandon?
It's going to be 48 degrees for game time, so he ain't going to be happy with that.
No, not happy at all. Oklahoma, Tennessee.
Yeah, I think it's elimination game between the two. Oklahoma, I know I said last week Oklahoma and Ole Miss was elimination game, but this is the true elimination game. Tennessee's worked their way up. 6-2. They had a nice win against Kentucky. Aguilar looked great, but this one's in Neyland, 7:30, ABC, the true knockout game.
Yep.
Yeah.
I still think there's a chance Oklahoma wins and still obviously is not in, but I think this is the true elimination game.
I like their defense, man. I just don't like their offense, right? They were fortunate in a couple of games early in the season against Michigan when they caught them early. The Auburn game, they got them early. They got them with those horrible calls. I think, Oklahoma's been playing on borrowed time. I think the Roosters come in to roost. I think they take an ass whooping against Tennessee in Neyland Stadium Saturday night.
John?
What are you talking about, man? Are you serious?
Hey, listen. Hey, we're nothing but an SEC show now, right? Is that all we are now?
Oh, Lord.
We got Ole Miss, we got Bama, and we got the checkerboard. What's
a joke, man?
I know, right? I'm all bought in now on Lane Train. If he jumps, I jump. So it's where we're jumping.
Hey, listen, if you can get him on the show, man, listen. I'd be willing to bet you'd have that picture as your background where you and him just chumming up there together.
100%. By the way, just so before the end of the show, I do not condone whatsoever the Steelers uniforms tonight.
Wait a minute.
Is it the jail?
Hold on, man. This is a college football show. Brandon, then broke rules,
I gotta get out in front of it, John. Now, if I don't get out in front of it,
now you know what JB's going to bring up next. Please.
No, I'm not. Actually, my end point is on the kid from Montana. They got an undefeated season clocking right now. The quarterback Khalil Ahayat, that's his name. You know what I'm saying? I would invite him to the Heisman, man. 17 touchdowns, 2,200 yards, man. They're tearing it up out there, man. But hey, y'all don't respect. Y'all don't respect the win over Sacred Heart. Y'all don't. But
just
I do.
4, right? It's just 4 invited, right?
Yeah.
So you
I
got
said invite 5. I said invite 10. Just have it like no limit and having like no limit in cash money. Just have everybody on the stage. Everybody.
Hey,
I bought it. It was worth.
How do you pass over talking about your boy going for 2 and coming up about a half yard short there at North Carolina?
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't.
How you skip that?
I wouldn't. I really wouldn't fire. I really wouldn't fire Bill Belichick. They just need some. I wouldn't give him another year and a better quarterback, and they should still pull out. Since he's got a good defensively, they are sound minded. They just don't necessarily have it offensively, and again, he's got old quarterback too. So
Okay. Early look upset special that I have. If I'm just looking right now, I ain't looked at spreads yet, but if I had to pick a game that was going to be an upset special, and no, Jonathan, I'm not taking Maryland. I know you were thinking I was going to take Maryland on this.
No way.
7:00 game.
No way.
No, the IU game's at 3:30 on CBS. I'm going to take, I think, SMU at home over Miami. I like an upset there.
Don't do it.
We'll see what the line is, right? That means we can get in early. You know how that goes. You better get in on Sunday or Monday.
I'm seeing one ESPN book has it at 10.5 right now, but give me the 10.5. I think SMU at home can hang with them. They did last year, I feel like.
Yeah.
So
what about the Irish going against Boston College? Any chance at all?
For Boston to score,
I think Irish are set, man. Go ahead, John.
For Boston College, they have to score how many points? Over 20?
So they won't cover is what you're telling me.
Spread's 29.5.
Boston College might put up 24, but no.
They cover that.
And we all say Texas over Vandy, right?
Yes.
It's gonna be a sizzler, but I can't wait.
Yeah, Vandy's dream season comes to an end.
I hope so. And they can take Johnny Manziel with them too.
Yeah, he won't make it. John wants him to go Heisman. He ain't gonna come close to that.
Not at all. Not at all. But hey,
If
fellas,
they beat hey, hold on. If they beat Texas, if it goes the other way, then he's getting invited to New York State.
Hey, I am concerned that the
please.
spread's only 6 for Georgia Tech at NC State. I am a little concerned it's only 6.
That's that home team. You know, they're at NC State. They get about 3 points anyway. Georgia Tech came off of a physically tough game, right? People are probably saying they're going to have one loss before they get to Georgia.
Who they got next week? Do they got to look ahead? Nah, they play Boston College after this. Okay.
Yeah. This may be it. This may be it before Georgia. So maybe you take that hook and see what happens.
None of these games feel a little Rozier-ish to me. How about that?
Here we go. We ain't going there.
Hey, where's Bro?
Where is he? Where is he? Man, it's gonna be an explosion. Oh,
now you sound like Michael Irvin.
I can't believe the FBI came to my door and was constantly give me the terrible big shot bomb in here. Oh Lord, oh Lord. No,
JD, this is October 26th.
Where's
man.
Bro?
We got to hang in there, man. We got
ever since Alabama started winning, Bro has disappeared.
Did Bro get threatened by somebody from Tuscaloosa? Did something happen that we didn't talk about?
He lost his ass. It sounds like betting.
Yeah, because he
has been missing since it happened.
Degenerate gambler.
Make an appearance for the big game. Maybe the Iron Bowl. Is he gonna be?
Got in league with the wrong people.
But what did I tell you guys?
Jimmy Hoffa.
Auburn knocked off Arkansas yesterday. You know, granted, Arkansas has a top 3 offense. Listen, hold on, top 3 offense in the SEC. That's Arkansas. I'm telling you now, don't be surprised if they give Bama hell, man, that last game of the season. I'm telling you, I'm not betting on it.
First quarter, probably.
You ain't got to worry about Hugh Freeze.
No, listen, Hugh Freeze doesn't need to lose a job. Hey, Hugh Freeze is a good coach. Man, Auburn's been holed all season long. And on a serious note, how in the hell do you not look at that and see what they did to the officials saying they didn't? You don't suspend an official for the rest of the season if something ain't right somewhere.
You do it at Tuscaloosa when they don't
Alabama,
go for a review on a scoring play.
You're better than that.
Hey, how's that lawsuit working out, Brandon? How's that lawsuit working?
I know. They heard me bitching last week, so they find a guy this week. So
Alabama, SEC, you're better than that.
Sankey's listening to me.
We'll see what happens.
I'll say it for another soundbite for you, John. Alabama, SEC, you're better than that.
Only if people understood and knew. Hey, fellas, appreciate the chiming in today. It's a great show as always. Appreciate the support. Anything you all want to pitch on for the upcoming week? Any guests you got coming on?
This week, just our normal show. Myself, Jonathan, and Tanner, college football pick'em. I had a horrible week again, so got a recap from that. We're going to talk association, NBA, and then we're going to have a guest, I believe, possibly in 2 weeks. Not confirmed yet, correct, John?
Not confirmed yet, man. But we'll have a guest.
2 weeks away. Possible former Butler Bulldog. So we'll wait and see.
All right, sounds good. Well, we've got on our end, obviously we got our NFL recap for tomorrow that we're going to go live on. But the other part of that is take a listen to the conversation we had today with Mr. Walter Alford, ex-Warren Central player, played at Ohio State, Ohio University. That story, JB, while I was telling Brandon, not just the interview, but the story of a transfer, things that you didn't understand that happened in the life of a transfer. Man, he laid things out, man, and it was really good. So share with your listeners, man. It was a really good.
And the Mac dude, absolutely, and the Mac dude. So I'm all over.
Yeah, we're all over. Okay, good stuff, fellas. Again, appreciate y'all being on. Good stuff, and as we always say, roll tide, right?
Hotty toddy, hotty toddy.
All right, fellas, be safe. See y'all next time.
See you guys.
Thanks for watching.